Hi friends, my name is Akil Ahmed, and in this particular video tutorial I will show you how to add the custom logging to SSIS package. So the agenda of the today's video is how you can add the custom logging to the SSIS package. So the logging is very important to the SSIS package. For example, when you are running the packages from the Visual Studio, then on the fly you can see like what is happening, like which file is being loaded, you are loading it, or like how many records got inserted. Maybe you can just see by your eyes. But when you deploy the SSIS package, then you don't know like what is going behind the scene. So when you deployed the package, when you schedule the SSIS package to be run on some particular schedule, then you don't know like if the job is running successfully or it is failing until unless you go to that particular task, and see the details. But suppose if your package needs to process hundreds of files, and you want to know which file got imported and how many records got imported, when those records imported, when the package is started, when the package got completed, and in case if the package failed, then how you can check the error message of the failure SSIS package. Okay, so if you want to know all these details, then we can add the custom logging to the SSIS package. We already have some options like the pre-built logging options in SSIS. Like we have the options to do the logging to the SQL server, and we have the option to do the logging to the flat file, and I have already created videos on those particular topics. But the thing is that in those particular topics, like the logging given by the SSIS for logging to the SQL server tables, the list of columns is predetermined there. You can't change the list, like you can't change the column names, or you can't add or remove the column names. But in custom logging, it's up to us. You can add as many columns as you want. Yeah, it's totally up to us, like how we want to configure it and how we want to see the logs in the SQL server table. So in this custom logging, what I will do, I will create an audit log table, and that table will contain the information like the package started, package completed, whatever files imported, name of the file, how many records got imported, how many records got rejected, and in case if any error will occur, then we will also log that particular error message as well. So at a single table, audit log table, you can see all the details about like what is going with the SSIS package. Okay, so let's get started. I have created a very basic SSIS package, just a for each loop container, and I have declared few variables here, and I will share this package with you so that if you want to download it, you can download it from the link in the description of the video. So I have declared three variables here: source folder path, and the file path, and the archive folder path. Okay, so what I will do, after loading a file, I will move the file to the archive folder. Okay, so this is a very basic for each loop container, and what it is doing, it is use the for each file enumerator. So that's why it is looping through the files in a particular directory. So the directory is coming from the source folder SSIS variable, and whose location is D files, and it will import all the CSV files. So at the moment in the D files, I got one CSV file, emails.csv file. So this CSV file should be imported, and in the variables mapping we have used the file path. So whatever CSV file it will find in the C files location, it will get the path of that particular file, and it will assign that path to the file path SSIS variable. So this is pretty straightforward for each loop container. And now this is the data flow task. So in the data flow task, it's simply reading the data from the source CSV file, the flat file connection we have used. And if you check the flat file connection manager, so I have used the expression here and set the connection string with the help of the file path. So in case if it finds a new file tomorrow, then it can import the new file as well. And in the OLEDB destination, we have used the email table to insert the data to. Okay, and email table exists on my test database. So I can show you the data in the email table. So this is the email table, and which is empty right now, and it exists inside the test database. Okay, so I can show you the columns as well. So these are the columns: ID, first name, last name, email, gender. And if you see here, ID is of type integer, and rest of the four columns are of type varchar 50. So this is very basic SSIS package. Now let me just try to execute this package and show you that the package is running right now. Okay, and then we'll make the changes for the auditing purpose. So it imported 1000 records to the email table, and I can go back to the SSMS and I can check the data here. So the data got loaded correctly, so that is great. Now let me truncate the table. Now let's go ahead and create the audit log table that will hold the auditing information for this particular SSIS package. And I think before doing that, let's add the code to archive this file to the archive folder. So once a file will be imported, it will be moved to the archive folder. Okay, so the archive is very easy using the file system task. we just need to set couple of things and we should be good to go. Okay, so I can connect the data flow task with the file system task, and in the file system task the operation will be move file. Okay, and in the source folder path, the source folder path exists in the variable, so we will select the variable here, set it to true, and we can select the file path SSIS variable. Now we will move the this particular file to the destination, so we need to set the destination. Is destination path variable true, and do we contain the destination path in a variable? Yes, in the archive folder path. So if you see the value of the archive folder path, so it will move the file to the this archive folder. Overwrite destination, yes. So in case if your file already exists, then it will overwrite it. So I can click on OK. So our file system task is done. Now let's go ahead and create the audit log table. So this is the audit log table. The first column is the ID integer identity, and maybe I can call it as primary key, so that yeah, it will be good because it will create a cluster index on the ID. Now we will hold the package name. Status will be like package started, package failed, package completed, file loaded, and file name, it will contain the full file path right now. In case if you want to just have the file name without the file path, then you can also do that. It will hold the records inserted, records rejected, the time when the package ran, and the error message. In case if any error will occur, then we will insert the error message to this particular location. So I think we are good here. Now what I can do, let me just execute this query and it will create the audit log table. So the audit log table got created, and let me copy this audit log table from here and run this query. Select top 100 star from audit log, order by ID DSC. Okay, so right now the table is empty, audit log table is empty. Okay, now the first thing is that we need to insert a record for the package started, package completed, package failed, and for the file loaded. Okay, so what we need to do, we can write an insert query, insert into audit log, and ID is identity, so it doesn't need any input from our side. The first one is the package name. Okay, and the second column is the status, which will be like package started, and then we need to provide the file name, records inserted, records rejected, current date, time, which can we get from the get date, and the error message, which will be empty for the first task. Okay, so what I can do, I can just drag and drop the execute SQL task here, and okay, and I will call this one as package started. Okay, and now I can just right click and I can configure this one, edit connection. I will select the connection, I will go to the expression here and SQL statement source, maximize this one, insert a double quote, paste the query and the double quote. Okay, now here the package name we will get from the system variable, so double quote plus plus double quote, and you can just get the system variable package name, so that in case if you are going to use the same task in another SSIS package, so you don't need to change the package name there, it will automatically get the package name from here. Okay, and the step will be package started, the file is empty 00, so this is fine. So when the package will started, it will insert this information like this package got started. Okay, so this is fine, I can click on OK. Okay, so this is good. Now there is one important thing about the package name. So if you right click on the control flow and go to the properties, so you can see a name property here. So this is package which is correct. Now let me just rename this package. Okay, I'm just showing you something. I will call it as custom logging. Okay, so I just change the package name here. Now if you go to the properties again, so still the name property is package. Okay, although I change the custom logging, but it is still package. So what you need to do, you need to manually change that package name property, otherwise in the logging you will still see the package there. Okay, and similarly if I copy this particular package, so let me copy this one, and if I paste this one, so now the package name is something else like custom logging. Okay, and I can call this package something else, maybe like I can call it as test. Okay, so now the package name here you can see as test. Okay, but if you go to the properties, yeah, here it got changed as well, but sometimes it doesn't change, so you just need to make sure that in the package property the name should be correct. Okay, whatever name it will be in the auditing, that name will be inserted. Okay, so that's what I want to show you. So let me delete this one, the temporary package. So this is for the package started. Now you can copy this one and paste this one. So now let's do the same thing for the package completed as well. So in the end of the package we will also do the auditing for the package completed, like when it got completed. Okay, so I will just configure this one, expressions, and instead of the package started I will say package completed. Okay, so this is fine. Now let's do the same thing for the package failure. So in case if the package will fail, so you can copy this one, click here. So none of the tasks should be selected here. Go to the event handlers and make sure from the executable the top one is selected, the package name. Click here on the on error event, paste the task, and I can rename this one, the logging one, to the package failure. Now I can just right click and I can just configure this one, edit, go to the expressions, open this one, maximize this one. So instead of package completed I will call this package failed. Okay, so that we know that it got failed. Now here you need to use the error description SSIS variable. So I can put double quote plus plus double quote, and here I can just drag and drop the error description system variable. So let me just drag and drop it here. Now there is one important thing, that we need to replace the single quote with a blank string. So what happens, sometimes there might be a single quote in the error description. So in those scenarios the insert query will fail. So that's why we can just replace the single quote with a blank string, and that should be great. Yeah, so this is done. Click OK, OK, and I will share this whole package with you so you can download it. Now the one task is remaining is for like the file imported task. Okay, so we need to declare variable here for file imported. The first one will be like records imported, and the second one is for the records rejected. But right now I have not added the code for the rejection purpose. Okay, but I will do that. And what I can do, let's do it for the records imported first, and then I will implement it for the record rejected. Okay, because in some of the scenarios you might not need the code for the records rejected, but I will still show you. So for the records imported you can use a row count transformation here, and we can select the records imported. Okay, okay, so this is fine. Now what will happen, whatever number of records will be read from the flat file source, they will be inserted to the SSIS variable records imported. Okay, and then we can use that variable to insert the data into the SQL Server table. So now what I can do, I can simply maybe copy this one and paste it here, and I can call this one as file imported. Okay, and I can just drag and drop it inside the for each loop container so that it will be executed for each file imported. Now let me just configure this one, open this one, maximize this one. So the step will be file imported here. Okay, and this is for the file name. So I can put a double quote plus plus double quote, and then I can use the file path SSIS variable, because file path will hold the current file that we are importing. Now the first variable is for the records imported. So I will use the records imported variable here. So let me just drag and drop the record imported. But because the records imported variable is of type integer, so we need to typepass it to string. So I can use the conversion here, dt underscore wstr comma 12. 12 is the length here. Okay, let me click on evaluate expression. So this is working fine. Click OK. Okay, so we have just configured the logging here. When the package will start, it will insert a log. For each file imported, it will insert a record into the file imported, and after the successful loading of the file, it will insert a record that the package got completed. And in case if any error will occur, then it will insert the error log to the audit log as well. Okay, so let me execute running the SSIS package and let's see what happens. So the package ran fine, and if I go back to the file system, so you can see that the file got moved to the archive folder. So this is working fine, and let me go back to the SSMS and let's check the data. So the email table should have the data. Yeah, 1000 records got imported, and now let's check the data in the audit log table. So the from here the auditing started, like the package name is this one, custom logging, and package is started at this particular time, and the status file imported, and this file got imported, 1000 records got imported, and the package got completed. So this is the very basic logging. Okay, and now let's try to fail the package and see how the error message will be inserted here. Okay, so I have one of the bad file that has some bad data, so let me copy this file and paste it here. What kind of bad data it contains, let me show you. So this particular file, it actually contains some character data in the numerical field ID. So instead of 1 2 3, it contains like A B C D E F kind of thing. Okay, so the conversion will fail and the SSIS package will fail. So let's see how it will work. And the failure can be of any type, it doesn't really matter that there should be some bad data in the file. Okay, so you can see that the package got failed. And now let's see the error message and the auditing table. So now if you see here, the package started from here and then it got failed, and these are the error messages. So I think this hold all the error messages, like whatever message you will see in the output window, all the messages you can see here. So you can see that for the column ID there are some errors, and it is saying that the value could not be converted because of a potential loss of data. So it is clearly saying that the value could not be converted because it will lose the data. So I think this is working perfectly fine. Now the only thing is remaining is that we can implement the logic for the records rejected, and then we can also move those rejected records to a maybe new file or a new table, and whatever number of rows will be rejected, we can insert the count here in the records rejected column. Okay, yeah, so I think let's do it. So let me first of all truncate the email table, and now what I can do, I can go back to the SSIS package, and now let's add the code to handle the rejected records. So what I will do, I will add a data conversion transformation here, and in the data conversion transformation I will try to convert the ID into the integer data type. Okay, and in case if the conversion will fail, then we will move those records to the rejected table. Okay, so I selected the ID column, the data type by default is string 50. I will try to convert it to 4 byte signed integer. Okay, and now I will configure the error output here. I will select this one from the fail component. I will select redirect row, apply. Okay. Now what I will do, I will create a table OLEDB destination, and the blue one, the usual data path, will go to the email table, and the red one, the error data path, it will be connected with the new table. Redirect row, apply. Okay, and let me create a new table here, and I will call my new table as email rejected data. Okay, I think that should be fine, and I can remove this error column because I don't find anything useful here. So what I will do, I will add a new column here, and I will call it as created time, so that I know like when this particular data was rejected, and it will be of type date time, not null, default, get date. Okay, maybe I will share this create table statement as well with you. So I can click on OK, mappings, and yeah, this is fine. So what I will do, I will use a row count transformation here, and then we can just hold the number of records rejected in a variable. So I can use the row count transformation here. So let me just drag and drop the row count transformation into the data flow task, and let me just delete this one, add it to the row count transformation, redirect row. Okay, and I will select this row count transformation, records rejected. Okay, now I will connect the row count with the OLEDB destination. Yeah, so I think this is fine. Now here there is one thing, that the total number of records imported, I think now we should take this one row count transformation, and I think we should put it here. Okay, otherwise it will hold the total records from the file, and in case if you want the total records, then I think that's also fine. So it's up to you, it's up to the requirement of your package. So I will use the row count transformation now here. Okay, so it's up to us, like where we want to use some task, records imported. Okay, so this is perfectly fine. Now let's go back to the file imported execute SQL task, and just use the records rejected SSIS variable, and that should be the end of this particular video, because that's the task that we wanted to do. Okay, double quote plus double quote, and then I can just drag and drop the records rejected here, and I can use the data conversion dt underscore wstr comma 12 evaluate expression. Okay. Yeah, so I think we have configured it completely, and let me just start running the package, and I think it should work. So you can see that the package ran fine, and you can see the data flow task. So 1000 records came from the flat file, and 997 records got imported successfully to the email table, and 3 records moved to the rejected table. Okay, now let me check the SSMS, and if you check the email table, so it should have 997 records, and we created one rejected table. So let me just drag and drop that rejected table here. Okay, select star from rejected data. So you can see these 3 records here, the rejected ones, they got rejected because of this ID. And now we can check the audit log table. So the package started from this row, package started, you can see the time 10:26, and it inserted 997 records got inserted, 3 records got rejected. This is the time, this is the package name, status, everything is here. Now suppose if you want to add some more columns, like you want to add the destination table name as well, then you can just simply add a column here like destination table, and you can just pass the destination table value here. It's pretty straightforward. We are just doing an insert query. So insert query is the very basic query in SQL. So you just need to pass the values here. So in case you want to pass some hard-coded value, then you can pass it. For example, if your last column is destination table name, so you can just pass the destination table name here like as email in a single quote, and that should work. And anytime you want to test it like the SQL query, so you can just copy the SQL query from here, okay, and paste it here and try to execute this one. So if you will execute it right now, it will fail because we don't have the destination table, okay. But if you had the destination table in the audit log, then this query will work, okay. And maybe I can just show you, like if you want to add some more columns to the audit log, then you can add it. Like you can add the destination table name, you can add the, for example, executed by machine name, whatever columns you want to add, you can add it. It's up to you, okay. So let me add a new column as destination table, okay, and I will add the column here. After dated, I will add the column as destination table and varchar 100, okay. And now what I can do, I can simply re-execute it, create the audit log table, okay. So now the audit log table should be empty, it doesn't have any data, and both the files got moved to the archive, so I can put them back. And now I can go back to the SSIS package, okay. So now let me just reconfigure it for the for the destination table. So you can open the package started, come here, I added the column just before the error message, okay. So just before the error message, I will put 2 single quote comma, and then I will give the table name. So the table name is email, but we don't need to provide the table name here, okay, because it's just the package started. So we will put a blank value here. Same way, if I go to the package completed, so we don't need to provide the destination table here because it is just the package completed logging, okay. So I can click on okay. Here we need the destination table, like to which table you are inserting the data to, okay. So after this one, after the get date, we need to add the destination table. So I will copy this one and I will paste it here, okay. Yeah, so that's it, and it should work. So for example, if I copy this one, so you can test it like running here, like is it working or not working. So if you execute here, it is working, it means that it will work from the SSIS package as well. So whatever query you are writing in the SSIS expression, you should test them here first before running from the SSIS package. Now let me recreate the audit log table so that it will be empty. Now we have done our changes, and I can just rerun the SSIS package, and this time it should load data for 2 files, email and the another table. What is the another file, email underscore timestamp. So the package ran fine, and you can check the audit log table here. So first the package got started, it imported the first file which was perfectly fine, so it imported all 1000 records, and the destination table is email. In the second one, for the second file, emails underscore timestamp, it imported 997 records and 3 records got rejected, and this is the destination table. So you can add as many columns as you want, and this is very much required when you deploy your packages to the SSIS catalog and when we schedule it. So this is the only place where you can just come and you can see what is happening with my SSIS package execution. Yeah, so I think that's it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching the video, and if you like the video then please click the like button. Do subscribe to our channel, press the bell icon and click on all so that you will be notified every time I upload a new video. Thank you so much.